All right, we're almost done. I need you to hang in with me just a little bit longer because, as all of you know, those of you who are organizers, those of you who are leaders, it's not just one event, it's a campaign that wins change. And I am the director of the Campaign for Community Values, so I want to talk to you a little bit about where we go from here and what we do. So, I was born in Indiana. I spent the first 18 years of my life, and there's folks here from Indiana, and that's cool. I've spent the first 18 years of my life in Michigan City, Indiana, which is right on the lakes of right on the shores of Lake Michigan. One of the things I most enjoyed, one of the things I most remembered about where I grew up was the beach. It's where you went every summer day. It's where you stole away in the springtime when you skipped school. It's where you went in the fall, and you even went there in the winter because even though it was really cold, it was really pretty. When I was 18, I'd just come back from my freshman year of college, and there was one of those summer thunderstorms that come across the plains in Indiana that just dump a ton of water on you. And my friends and I went out on the pier on Lake Michigan by our house because the waves after thunderstorms like that just roll over. And it's a lot of fun. These huge waves. This pier has two parts. There's a bottom layer and there's a top layer, and there's about 8 foot of breakwater in between. And we were on that top part, and the waves are still coming over us, much less down there or the rocks that they use to shore up the pier. And it was a lot of fun. And a friend of mine noticed that you could run, if you went down the stanchion for the ladder, you could run from one ladder to another in about 5 seconds and get up again before the next volley of waves would come over the pier. And he did it. He did it twice. Now, I was 18 and a boy, which means I was stupid. And so I wasn't going to be outdone. And I ran, and so then after the last volley of waves, I went down that stanchion and I started to run, just like he did. And I got about 6 feet, and I saw that the pier had eroded away. And where there should have been space to run, there was just a hole. And I froze. This is a true story. And I could feel this clock ticking in my head. Ticking those seconds because I only had about 5 to begin with. And at the last second, I turned and I jumped. This is an 8 foot wall, as high as I could, and I stuck to that concrete like a spider. And I felt the wave hit my back. And I felt it start to pull me off of that concrete. And you know what? It's true. Your life does flash in front of your eyes. Because, I mean, I didn't have much of a life. I was only 18. But all of it, I saw it all in a split second. And right as I thought I was going to lose my grip on that concrete, my friends reached down. Every one of them. And they pulled me up. That's what's going on with our country right now. This is where we are as a nation. We are running, and we're running, and we're running, and we're running in fear that that wave is going to come up and take us away. That we're going to lose that job and that there's no backup. That we're going to lose that health insurance and there'll be no money. That the INS is going to come through the door and take our parents away. This has got to stop. This is why we launched the Campaign for Community Values. Because we know that we don't have to wait in fear for something to happen if we know that our friends are there to lift us up. We know that we are stronger together. But we're all leaders and we're all organizers, and we also know that this takes work. So what do we do from here? The first thing we do is we spread the news. This is the launching of a campaign. It doesn't stop here, it begins here. So we need you to go out and talk to people about this. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell the people you love, and organize through your organizations, or if you don't have an organization, then find one, and get organized and get clear on what our values are and get mobilized, and then take that message to those who have power. Or as they used to say, go talk to Pharaoh, right? And explain to them that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that we are all in this together, and that we expect them, as our elected leaders, to represent that belief in how they act and in the policies that they enact when they represent us. Then, let us hold them accountable, because next year there is an election. So after we've talked to the leaders and we've explained to them what our community values are, the next step from there is to go out and to act on it, and to make sure that not only we vote, but all who can vote our values. So we're going to register people to vote. We're going to make phone calls. We're going to knock on doors. We're going to vote in the caucuses. We're going to vote in the primaries. We're going to vote in the general election. And we are going to choose leaders who represent our community values in the next election cycle. But it doesn't stop there. As Senator Obama alluded to, we need to make sure that not just elected officials, that we don't just elect these guys, but that we make sure that they enact policies that are going to truly help our people. Not the policies of division that we've been living over the last 30 years, but policies that bring people together, policies of connection. So in 2009, when there's a new administration and there's new elected officials at every level in our government, we're going to go back to them again. And we're going to talk to them about those policies. And we're going to make sure that they enact policies that address the needs of our community, so that if someone doesn't have health insurance, there'll be a way to pay for things. And if someone is struck down, there'll be a way to make sure that their family is safe. And that if people want to enjoy the bounty that we have here in America, and to be good American citizens, that we will allow them that opportunity. And et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera. The policies of connection. So what are we going to do? We're going to go out and we're going to talk to our elected officials. We're going to let them know about this campaign and about our community values. We're going to use the vote to ensure that they listen to us, and if they don't, then we're going to replace them. And then finally, we're going to, in 2009, see our policies enacted in a new Congress and a new president, and we're going to meet. And if it's any one of these five, apparently we're meeting with them. They said so. And we're going to make sure that these community values become the bedrock of a new way of thinking about government and a new way of thinking about our society as a whole. So that's the plan. There's a step that I'd like you all to take on your chair. There was a form. It's got multiple colors on it. On the back, it talks about how you can participate in the campaign for community values, how you can help us vote. We need you to fill that out. There'll be people collected outside. That's the first step. We'll be in touch with all of you in the days ahead about how we get in touch with our elected officials. And of course, we will continue on the program we set. So I want to thank you all again. I look forward to working with you.